Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. The VA is working to eliminate it. Yes, and that's a good thing because we're talking about the backlog. The VA is moving in the right direction. They actually put out a press release on this. There has been some conversations outside the VA as well as far as the trajectory of VA claims. Now, I'm going to preface it with this. If you're thinking about putting in a claim, probably go ahead and do that. Start that process, put in your intent to file, and get your claim put together. If you need medical evidence that your doctor is having problems putting together in an appropriate way for VA evidence, utilize AME, American Medical Experts. They are board certified doctors. I've worked with them for a long time now. They are solid, good results. Their information's in the description and in the comments as well. They can provide you Nexus Letters, diagnosis, DBQs. Remember, DBQ, Disability Benefits Questionnaire, right? That is for all the information you need to get the appropriate rating for the severity of your condition as it relates to the rating schedule. Your Nexus Letter, that's different. That's really focused on creating the service connection, the Nexus Letter, creating that link between your condition and your time in service. Is it always needed? No. But if it is, you need to make sure it's solid. So that way when you submit your evidence, you get the best return on your efforts. Now, before we jump into this, I want to throw on a special thank you to Diane Good, 1174. Diane Good, thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate your support very much. Thank you so much, Diane Good. All right, so reducing the backlog. Well, that's great because that means that claims will start to move quicker. How are they doing it? What are they working on? What's their focus? Obviously, it is to try to eliminate the backlog as quickly as possible. And let's read what the VA has to say here. I got Stan chiming in the background. He's my rooster, and I can't do anything other than point out that that's a rooster in the background. I did see a comment, and I can't remember who said it now, that said I should bring him in and like pick him up and hold him. Stan is a psycho. Stan is crazy. Stan will get you if you are not paying attention. He is like a ninja, only sometimes you hear his little feet running behind you. So anyway, let's jump into this. The headline from the VA directly is record-breaking VA claims production brings backlog under 200,000, which is fantastic. This came out May 22nd, 2025, and I'm sharing it with you here today. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. All right, backlog is down 25% under second Trump administration. Let's read what the VA has to say. The Department of Veterans Affairs announced today that its disability benefits compensation claims backlog is under 200,000 for the first time since March 5th of 2023. Okay, we're in 2025. We're in May, a couple months difference, but wow, that's a couple years. So the first time in over a couple years. Now, I will, just to shine a little light on the perspective here, there was a whole lot of PACT Act claims coming in, and then those kind of fizzle out because it's new presumptives. So, everybody that can now file for those do, and then it kind of, it's like a bell curve thing. So anyway, there's some of that probably has to be taken into consideration. But no matter what, it is definitely a move in the right direction and a focus that should always be. The VA claim is considered backlogged. This is to give you the definition of what a backlogged claim is. So a VA claim is considered backlogged once it has been pending for more than 125 days. Since President Trump was inaugurated January 20th, the backlog has dropped from 264,717 to 198,378, a 25% drop or reduction, which is great. The backlog reduction VA announced today was made possible through a series of record-breaking production milestones, including, and there's 3 bullet points here, processing 1 million disability claims during a fiscal year faster than ever before, the highest monthly production rate in VA history in April, with 256,178 claims processed. That's a lot. So if you wonder how many claims the VA is working on, well, in a given month, this is the new record, in April of 2025, they processed more than 250,000 claims. That's a lot. The highest daily production rate in VA history, May 20th, with over 15,000 claims processed in a single day. That's pretty amazing. Under President Trump, VA's claim processing productivity is the highest it has ever been and will continue working overtime on behalf of veterans until the backlog is at record lows, said VA Secretary Doug Collins. Veterans and VA beneficiaries deserve timely and accurate claims decisions, and that is exactly what we'll deliver. So backlog, background information. There's 3 bullet points. The Biden administration oversaw a 24% increase in the backlog from 213,189 on January 20th, 21 to 264,717 on January 20th, 2025. Look, it really doesn't matter. To me, I think it's splitting hairs, this type of stuff. And I get it. It's a political world and they want to, always paint the other side. You're talking about a 50,000 increase and you're talking about the PACT Act that took in a lot of claims and slowed things down. So anyway, the VA backlog reached its highest point ever of 611,000 claims in March of 2013. That was horrific. Let's see what else. VA achieved its lowest backlog ever of 64,738 claims in December of 2019. That's fantastic. All right, so let's talk really quick here about claims. You, as a veteran, could end up filing 3 claims, 5 claims, 10 claims, 15 claims. Who knows? The number is whatever it is throughout your life with the VA for just disability compensation claims. In addition, you could file for VRNE. You could file for, let's say, dependent benefits. You could apply for temporary 100%. You could apply for a clothing allowance, housing allowances. You could end up applying for automobile allowance. So there's all kinds of different things that you could be doing with the VA. You could even throw the VA home loan in there, for example. So just on the disability compensation side, you could file a lot of claims. And it could be for the same condition. Maybe you were denied, you had an unfavorable decision, and then you needed to basically try to correct that. You could have been denied years ago and then decide to go ahead and file again because you learned more. My example is for myself personally. When I got out of the Marine Corps in, when was it? 97. So when I got out in 97, I filed a claim with the VA for my back, and it was denied. And like any good 20-something-year-old veteran, you go, yeah, well, screw it, who cares? And you move on. Well, that was the wrong move. Don't do that. And it took me probably about 12, 13, 14, maybe almost about 15 years until I filed again. And only did I file again because I joined the Army National Guard and it ended up hurting my eye. And now it's like a snow globe kind of. Anyway, so I hurt my eye and I thought, oh man, now I'm going to have to file a claim with the VA. And I remember how that went last time. What a waste of time. But I did. And I thought, you know what, since I'm filing for my eye, I might as well go through and dig up all my other stuff and see if I could file for my back and that type of stuff. And so I did, and lo and behold, they awarded it that time. And then it just made me reflect back and go, wow, so I missed out on this, especially when I really needed it, just getting out of the military, young family, kids, all that stuff. So all that to say is that you, through your life, could end up filing multiple claims with the VA. New conditions arise as secondaries. You forgot that you had evidence from service that showed that you had some sort of another condition that now it's actually starting to bolster up, and you want to file a claim for that. Secondaries, increases, all of that type of stuff you could end up filing for. So it's definitely not only one shot and that's all you get. You can take as many bites of that VA apple as you'd like. Just, be strategic with your efforts, of course. With that, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.